130 days. It felt like forever, to be honest. I remember my first day sitting on my laptop and saying, I want to write a test book. I was so shocked with the amount of work that I had to do. I struggled day by day, gathered all my material, did my research. I looked at a lot of different resources, a lot of test books, a lot of past papers from Cambridge, and I compiled the book bit by bit, page by page. It was quite difficult, a lot of self-doubt in the process, but eventually I was able to do it. 431 pages explaining physics concepts in depth. So I hope you guys are ready to explore what physics is using my test book. Might be wondering, who is this test book for? Who is the ideal audience for this test book? And why on earth did I even write a test book? Of all the things I could have invested my energy on, why writing a test book? I'm going to start with the first question. Who is this test book for? This test book, for now, is for A2 students who are tackling Cambridge A-levels. And it's going to help them understand physics, both preparing for their exams as well as learning new concepts firsthand, which I believe is something that's important for students, right? I often believe that students are left to prepare for exams when they're about to write them. But I think the best time to prepare for your exams is when you're learning the content, right? If you can learn content that's going to directly benefit you when you're writing exams, you're gonna most likely succeed. So I made this book so that it can be able to help students in that. And I focused on all 14 topics that Cambridge has to offer. So whatever topic you're looking for, you're gonna find it in my book. And what makes this series different, what makes this book different, is that I'm also making YouTube videos online. So if there's a particular aspect of the book you don't understand and you like video formats, you're going to see a lot of videos on my YouTube channel to help you understand the content a little bit better. And you're going to wonder, well, why did I create a book to begin with? I love test books, right? I did physics in my A-levels and I used a lot of test books. I used a lot of online content. But there was a problem that I encountered. The text was so dense, right? It was very difficult for me to study because it wasn't really structured in a way that I would like. Sometimes there was an idea going to be referenced in chapter 9, but it's appearing in chapter 2. And there wasn't really that connection between different chapters. A lot of questions weren't really solved when the test book was explaining content. And noticing that, I decided to create my own book to solve all those different problems. So the first problem that I solved was the issue of past papers. Guys, when I did my A-levels, when I would study and read the test book and then do past papers, I would often see some questions in the past papers that were never explained at all in the test book, that I was never taught. So because of that, I looked from 2000 up until 2024 and I compiled all those questions and then did my research. Using all the information that I got, wrote a test book that's supposed to help students understand the questions. So as you be browsing through the book, you're going to find a lot of sections that have been grouped to help students understand questions as they'll be reading. Another problem that I did really like with test book, like I said, the information was very dense, right? So you'd see a very big paragraph and you wouldn't really be sure what syllabus objective were they trying to answer. And I tried to solve that. So I looked up at the syllabus, so you're going to see me explaining the syllabus objectives. Then I put very simple format, very simple text, 2 or 3 lines max. I put diagrams, I've put visuals, I put a lot of things that make it quite engaging for students. And it's going to be quite helpful when you're learning physics from scratch. Another thing that, made this test book quite difficult to write, but also quite exciting to read, is that it feels like it's a conversation. Right? I use a lot of scripts. So when I create YouTube videos, I write scripts, right? So I write the plan for my videos and then I speak, right? So I figured if I can write my book like a YouTube script so that if I read it off, it sounds like I'm making a YouTube video, it'd be much better. So if you're going to read my book, you're going to feel like, hey, I'm talking to someone. Someone is teaching me as I'm reading this book. And that's something that I think is going to be beneficial and it's going to help a lot of students as they will be doing physics. So I don't know. Check the test book out. It's purely for practice and it's not endorsed by Cambridge whatsoever, but it's a test book that I worked on to help students better understand physics. I really love physics and I want to see students thrive in physics. That's essentially my goal with this YouTube channel. That's my goal with the test book itself, to really help students better understand physics a little bit better. So if you want to check it out, I've put a link in the description below. Just click that link. It will lead you to access the book, and you can purchase it on my Patreon. If you don't have funds to buy the book, don't worry. I made this book to help students. So you can just send me an email and say, I can't buy the book, I don't even have money. They'll just email it to you for free. But you have to, obviously abide by the copyright rules. Don't distribute it unfairly and stuff like that. But the book is purely to help you guys so that you can be able to understand physics a little bit better. And an additional thing, if you're interested in making test books, which I know is quite random, and you want me to create a video about that, I might do that. But I'm going to just share a little bit about how I wrote the test book, if that's going to help a lot of students, if that's going to be of interest to you. So writing a test book is quite difficult because you have to figure out what platform you're going to use to write a test book, right? You need visuals, you need structure, you need something that can handle a lot of pages. So I used Canva Pro, which is like a very good platform for putting text, putting visuals, and I was able to, arrange my documents in Canva. And for the visuals, I drew a lot of inspiration from other textbooks. Remember, you're not inventing the wheel. So I looked at a lot of formats that other textbooks explored, and I also created my own new format. So a lot of it was now structuring the idea, so explaining the concepts. And I used my notes for the most part, the notes that I used for my A-levels, as well as researching from textbooks, researching from other YouTube videos. So combining all of that during the research, I was just now typing, right? Putting the format, getting everything done, typing for 200 hours to get this book done. So yeah, that's a little bit about how I wrote the book. If that interests you and you really want to write your own test book, you can always comment and I can try to help you if you're trying to do that. But at the end of the day, try to enjoy physics. High school physics is quite fascinating. It's quite fun. And this test book should show you that you can learn physics, right? You can learn physics and it's very engaging. It just needs to be taught in the right way. And I really believe that this test book can be able to help a lot of students. So you check it out and tell me what you think. But otherwise, stay curious, stay humble, and enjoy physics.